Hey guys, Fusebucks here, and we're going to go over all the changes that are coming pretty much imminently towards us in this game. I've been looking at everything objectively. If I'm playing free to play, if I'm a very progressed player, if I'm very early, and in the end, I think they're all positive changes. So, what do we have coming? In the next patch, they've been rolling these patches out at a pretty quick pace, too. The next patch, we're going to get level 25 dungeons. My initial thought was yay, like something more to do. Hopefully they haven't described it yet, so we don't know what the loot system will look like, but hopefully we'll be able to actually get either guaranteed 6-star gear on 25 or possibly at least higher statistics of getting legendary, epic, and surely 6-star gear. That's all excellent. It's something else to do, and that's all excellent. Then I thought, well, wait a minute now. People who are pushing through dungeons trying to get to level 20, how are they going to feel? Initially, you might think, oh, this is no good. But the truth is, it doesn't affect you at all. I've been thinking this through. You still have a very straightforward goal. Follow your missions, try to get Arbiter. Basically, try to get through level 20 of all your dungeons and keep working on your arena. And at that point, clearly Arbiter will be the next step towards moving forward to get to level 25. So it actually makes Arbiter make a lot more sense than she used to some people who thought, well, by the time you get her, you don't need her, which I still do not think is true. But now you can work towards Arbiter with a clear goal, and not only does stage 25 come along, but on your journey to stage 25 you have new missions, 187 I believe. Now that is a lot more for me to do, and people who have already progressed through the missions, that gives you another clear guide on what you can be working on, something to go for. Not just the Doom Tower kind of gives us a little bit of that, but now you have straightforward missions, and yes, there is another prize at the end of the mission set. You get another legendary hero. Word on the street is it'll be a void hero, so it's absolutely worth going for. So it really doesn't hurt you at all if you're still progressing through the game. Getting Arbiter is still on your to-do list, and it will happen along the way as you head towards the new hero. So basically, there's more to do. I talked about this in a previous video a while back. My thought was, okay, if they follow the pattern, then we're going to have new affinities on each boss, and that is the case. I think that's great, because now on Fire Knight, Lordly Legionary makes sense. Now, a lot of people try to make the claim that he's no good either way. No, Lordly Legionary actually ends up being in the top 15% on a lot of the damage he does. And he has a kit made exactly for the Fire Knight. Multiple hit A1s, he's got heal reduction, he's got everything that you need for the Fire Knight. So people like him all of a sudden have a use. That was kind of the only place I could see using Lordly Legionary. Well, now the affinity won't put him as a tank, and he ends up dead as soon as he walks into the bar. So I think that's excellent news for some of the heroes that seemed to have a specific niche in the game. Now they may fit into that. I think that it's also excellent for theory crafting, which is probably my favorite part of this game. Thinking things through, trying different things out. Sometimes they fail, sometimes they work, but this means that a lot of different heroes are going to become more useful. So Occult Brawler, he's a great poisoner. In most cases, if you are speed tuned correctly, have a counterattack champion, or really, really fast, Frozen Banshee can outpace him, outmatch him. She brings poison sensitivity. She throws poisons out fast as can be. But now the dragon is no longer going to be, he's going to be the strong affinity against your blue magic heroes. Most of the poisoners that early game players have, which are excellent for stage 20, you can still hold on to your Frozen Banshee and your Kale for that. But now somebody like Occult Brawler is going to be really important to get to that dragon, beat it on stage 25. And now this could absolutely not be the case, but I've got this interesting thought. Well, first let's talk about the nerfs that they're bringing along with this. So from stage 21 to 25, they're going to add some buffs and debuffs and some things to the kit of the bosses. Personally, most of this I think is cool. One is going to hit the community pretty hard. It's the HP, max HP damage. They're nerfing it the same way they did in the Doom Tower. Your Septimus can only take 10% of the boss's max HP. Your Cold Heart that you worked so hard for, that doesn't mean you don't need Cold Heart. Her kit is amazing on Fire Knight, even at level 25. She has a 4-hitter on her A1. She has a heal reduction that she could throw out. Decreased accuracy might come into play if they add any little interesting things to the boss. But I think the reason they're doing this, I don't like that much myself. I don't know how you can really speed farm anymore, but I'm sure we'll come up with ways. And if you think about it, if you still take 2 Cold Hearts and they're built strong, they're going to do 10% damage every time they do Heartseeker. But here comes the next nerf. They're going to do like Doom Tower, and they're going to kind of nerf your turn meter control on bosses. It doesn't say every boss, but I would think that the Fire Knight would surely get this, because the way you beat him now is you bypass his mechanics and never let him take a turn. Typically. That's typically what we do. So they're probably going to make it like Doom Tower, where you instead of 100, you take 50% turn meter down. So if you're really fast, you can still do the same get up, go in there and keep his turn meter down most of the time, keep him slowed. But it might come down now to making sure that you have heal reduction on, knowing that eventually he's going to get that slam against you and he won't heal, keeping him as slow as possible. I'm sure that you'll want turn meter control still. And Heartseeker still does 100% turn meter depletion, which means even if it's nerfed, it'll probably do 50%, which is incredible. And so those speed runs with two Cold Hearts, they're still going to come into effect. I really believe she'll still be a very useful character on Fire Knight's Castle. Not to mention, at 10%, 10 hits from 2 Cold Hearts on Heartseeker means game over, plus you're still doing damage the whole time. We'll probably start coming up with ways to try out HP burn or see how poisons do alongside her. We'll all work through it. I think it's going to be fun. I really think it's a great idea, and it doesn't hurt anybody that's still trying to progress through stage 20. And stage 20 will still be a great farming spot if you've been building heroes specifically with stage 20 in mind. So it's not gonna break the game. You'll need new tanks in scenarios where the spider's gonna get tricky, because you can't go in and nuke it down now. It would take 10 hits. Some people with Kymar, Septimus, the right heroes might be able to go in and get 10 hits pretty quickly, but it's going to be tricky for most players, for 99% of the game. So HP burn is going to be more prevalent, I imagine, for the spider, the HP burn scenario, or high damage output that just kills spiderlings all day while still trying to maintain turn meter control. We'll have to see what kind of teams we come up with. But I do think HP burn is now the new strategy. So glad I got my first Ultimate Gaelic on my mid-tier account, because that's going to be the only way I can get it done. But now you're going to need new tanks. And let's just look at our characters, the different roles they get to play. I think this is an amazing thing. So we're like Iron Brago. Now the spider is going to be magic affinity, I believe. I'm pretty sure. And if that's the case, Iron Brago gets to come in and actually play his role. He gets to play tank. He can, or if you've got Valkyrie, she can become your tank. If you can make this play out, she's so high on defense, and so is Iron Brago. Or the pair of them. I mean, he increases her defense by 10%, making her shield more effective. So many amazing new things coming, new ideas we get to try. Septimus is not going to want to go on the spider. He's going to be the wrong affinity. They're nerfing his max HP damage. He'll still have roles to play. He can tear through waves. He can still do 10% damage to, say, the Ice Golem now. It depends. I can't remember what everybody landed on. But now on Fire Knight, we're talking about Lordly Legionary. Well, the pair of Astralon and Lix are actually amazing, even though they're wrong affinity on the Fire Knight. Well, now they're not going to be the wrong affinity. Now they stand a chance at really doing amazing work on the Fire Knight, getting that shield down, which you may have to do more than once because we're nerfing the way we do turn meter control on him. But speaking of turn meter control, all of a sudden Allure, who's been going in as the weak affinity against Fire Knight since the beginning of time, she finally gets her day in the sun and gets to walk in as the strong affinity, never getting a miss or a weak hit, which means that she'll be more effective. Maybe not as effective, maybe it'll play out about the same, but all of her hits will take that big reduction to turn meter. It'll just be cut in half, I'm assuming. That's the way they did it in Doom Tower. So we're going to still want a lot of the same mechanics, but who's going to bring those mechanics is going to change. And it means you get to play around with heroes you didn't get to play. I'm telling you, Lordly Legionary is going to actually be usable. I'll do the work for you. I'll try him out, but I'm telling you, he's going to be a good hero on Fire Knight. Yeah, I've got plenty of heroes that are going to be good on him, but I really think because he's free to play, he's going to be a very useful champ now. I think all of this is amazing news. Personally, I think it's great. Great for the game. The new hero, another goal to go for. You know, it's going to be there. You could take your time. You could rush into it, whatever you see fit. But surely the rewards will be better. How better, I do not know. But they haven't really told us what they plan on giving us as far as the artifacts being, you know, it's going to be a higher chance to get level 6 star gear. Or at least legendary, something to that effect. So it can't be too bad. It's got to be pretty much all good news to me. They are talking about some current fixes in the works for the arena. Something for you to look forward to. Probably will come out, at least some of it, between now and that first patch. There's plenty to look forward to, and I don't think that, you know, sometimes people just try to find the bad in things. Sometimes they just try to find the good in things. I'm trying to set myself right in the middle, and all I see are pretty much positive moves in the right direction for the most part. They have not addressed a lot of the issues. Silver, they just keep saying, yeah, we know. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Books, yeah, we know. Haven't gotten many answers on most of the big questions, but they are addressing, I think, more right now, the arena. For a lot of players, there's new players still coming in. There are people starting their first, second account. The arena is pretty bad, so they're definitely addressing that one. They're giving us something to do if we're further along in the game. I kind of think, what do you guys think? Which bosses do you think are now going to become the more difficult bosses? Something tells me Dragon's going to be a little tougher than we're used to. I think all of a sudden the Dragon's Lair is going to actually have some difficulty to it. You can't nuke it down. You're going to have poisoners that don't land weak hits, and now your blue poisoners are not going to be landing guaranteed crits. So, I don't know. Sounds interesting to me. I mean, Occult Brawler pops to mind, but there's not, you know, maybe I haven't dug through all of my poisoners, but Aothar will probably be really important now. But I don't know. Spider, if HP burn and stuns works well still on level 25, I don't think Spider is going to be all that bad. But it does mean if you are sitting on your ultimate Galek, or, you know, what is his affinity? See, this is going to bring a lot. Drexthar is definitely worth going for. He won't be the tank anymore, though. He'll play a little differently. So you can't force people to hit him as easily. He'll have to actually provoke to get those moves out, those HP burns. The only other way to make him your tank is to keep him high defense, very low HP, so that he is the tank, and bring all red affinities to the Spider. And then you have a very good build for your fire, your HP burn. We're gonna have to start thinking out of the box. I love it. So yeah, don't feel like you're getting left behind because we're going to stage 25. I assure you, I've got an account in the same boat. You still have your Arbiter to work for, and then she, being Void, will be amazing for all of these dungeons while you're struggling your way to 21, 22, and further. So I imagine stage 20 will still be a sweet spot for farming too. So the heroes that you've been working on, I would finish them out. I would stay the course, just keeping in mind that now there are going to be other heroes eventually that will be important where they used to not be. And to me, that's great. We're going to get use out of so many more heroes. Maybe we're going to get stuck on stage 23. Maybe they're going to be tougher than we think. Who knows? But we've got to go through all the affinities to find out. And I think this is all a positive thing. Yeah, let me know in the comments, which boss do you think is going to be the most dramatic change? I think that there's still going to be enough turn meter control as long as you're bringing health or heal reduction slow. I think there's going to be enough control to keep the Fire Knight about the way he is now. You may have to, the shield may come down once or twice, but I think it'll play out about the same as long as you don't let him heal. Not too bad. Ice Golem and Dragon could become the more difficult stages. To me, they really could. But who knows? Sometimes the waves can be as difficult as the boss. Ice Golem used to trip me up when I was working my way through level 20 on that second stage till I finally worked through it. And we don't know what the waves are going to be like on stage 25. So that's it. Just want to touch on this, give my thoughts on it. I think it's all positive. I really do. For the most part. What am I going to do with my Septimus? We'll have to wait and see. But he still has places that he's amazing, and I still use him in the Doom Tower. There are places he can still out damage everybody else. So it feels a little bit like a nerf on some of these heroes, but I think they're all still going to have their place. And now new ones are going to step up, be able to shine a little bit. Like I had a video not too long ago about this. Royal Guard is amazing. Well, so is Husk. Husk is just like Royal Guard, only he can stun everybody. They both have their interesting and usable kits, but now Husk is going to have different affinities to come in and do his max HP damage on waves, bosses. We'll have to see. Let me know what you think, what you're most excited about, or if there's anything you're dreading. Hopefully it is all going to be good, not going to affect younger players, going to just give some more missions and things to do for more experienced players, and we'll all end up meeting up together at the end of level 25 on all these dungeons. That's it. Until next time, enjoy the grind.